what's up, everybody? Welcome to the We Are ND Nation podcast, season 6, episode 4. I am Evan J. Thomas, and with me always is Dennis Stover. On today's show, we discussed AP number 8 Notre Dame Fighting Irish home opener against number 16 Texas A&M and Mike Elko, former Notre Dame defensive coordinator, taking his Aggies into South Bend for a primetime Saturday night game. Dennis, what's up?
Going on?
Lots.
Not much. Just kind of antsy for the game. Honestly, like I just said earlier before we went live, I don't know how confident I am going into this game. I was thinking, the 2 weeks, the bye week to get ready. They can make some changes, but and maybe it's not even personnel changes, but they just, again, that Miami, that loss, I think that stings more than it actually, even though it was 3 points and Notre Dame came back and it was great. And CJ Carr, that's not a problem, But I read an article today, guy brought up that was really good, and I'll reference that. Referencing, or this game resembles the 2017 game against Georgia when Wimbush was starting his second game, and Notre Dame lost by 1 point because they had time, and the left tackle gave up a sack, and they ended the game, and it was very reminiscent of how last week's game ended, but this week is in South Bend, and Georgia at that time wasn't. I think they were ranked 15 or 16, and that's where the Aggies are now going into this game. I think they're 16.
Yep, 16.
So I just, there's the one stat from last week, and I couldn't find the exact number, but I think it was 13, and that is a super high number. I don't know. Google, you got your computer there. Google blown assignments against Miami, Notre Dame, and it was something like 13, which is, I guess, it's a really ridiculously high number historically. They gave up so many blown assignments because, like I said last week in our show, Anthony Knapp was on roller skates. He just got pushed around. That Bain dude ate him for breakfast, and I think Elko is paying attention to that, and I think they're gonna, A&M has a very good defensive line from what I'm being told, and I don't see why people wouldn't do the same thing. He's not very good in pass protection. That left side of the line was not good.
Brutal.
They were, and overall the team, again, I watched it again because it was on replay, and I was like, you know what, let me watch it again. And they were just not. They looked not very uninspired, or they weren't inspired to play. Miami came out and smacked them in the mouth, man. I mean, they really did. They were up 21-7, 28. So, and Notre Dame didn't have a clue. And again, you can't go away from your pestilence and famine and the four horsemen that you have. It's 2025 and not 1927.
And look at what the Aggies have already done this year. They're 2-0 coming into this game. They've already beaten.
Yeah, they haven't played anybody though, right?
No, they've beaten University of Texas at San Antonio 42-24. USU, I don't know who USU State is, but that's 44-22. So yeah, they haven't really beaten anybody, but they do have one more game ramping up to this matchup.
They have one more game. It's like preseason for them, which is smart. I mean, I guess if I was scheduling, that's kind of what I would do. I would maybe not a cream puff like an FCS school, because what are you really learning about your team going out and just pounding somebody, right? But to start out with, again, Miami and A&M, Notre Dame cannot afford to go 0-2.
And that's where we're going to come up with this one. What happens? Does Marcus Freeman lose a team? I mentioned that the other day in the other show. Does he lose a team? Are they completely out of the playoff then going into the
I would think so. I mean, granted, A&M and Miami can go on and have great seasons, and then maybe those aren't bad losses, but Notre Dame doesn't have, after this week, right as of now, there's no ranked opponent left on the schedule.
Nope.
And I still think Pitt's going to be a really good team. I'm telling you, watch out for Pitt, man.
It's a good team. So yeah.
Anyway, and spoiled children might actually be, but they haven't played anybody either. And still bum Riley as their coach. So
Yeah, looking at this game coming up on Saturday, it's going to be obviously prime time, like I had mentioned, 6:30
mm,
kickoff. Obviously, both teams should be up and inspired, as we said earlier about the game. But
you
I
don't
don't
think
know.
those cats from A&M are thinking about that loss last year?
Oh, sure they are.
Yeah,
Sure they are.
exactly.
I
I
mean,
guarantee you, Mike Elko had that game circled the minute they lost, and was like, "We're going there next year, man, and we're gonna win."
and not just win, but they want to embarrass them. And I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't think so. We'll do our predictions a little bit later in terms of score and what we expect. But there are just some things that this Notre Dame team needs to do. We kind of harped on it the other day. We were saying, the depth chart because people are, just the offensive line just is sucking. It's like, what are you supposed to do?
Well, they
What are we
got Will
looking at?
Black, and he's not even listed as in the two deep. This guy's a 5-star lineman. Put him at left
So,
tackle, man. I mean,
who
that
knows?
what bums me out is this is basically the same line from last year. Sans, who graduated or transferred, the center transferred, and somebody else left. But anyway, so you're -2, but it was and Jagasaw is injured. So this is the same line that was in the national championship game last year, and that made the run. Basically, same coach, same offensive line coach, and
Mhm.
and they just look soft.
They do. And then, the game plan has to change too. It's like you have to utilize running backs. Obviously, if your offensive line's going to blow and can't block, obviously then you have to kind of have to change things up, but it's like you're at home. You have to set the precedent of the running game before CJ Carr is able to even move the ball downfield. It is
Um,
what it is.
Marcus Freeman said in his presser, the run has to set up the pass, which
Basically what I
I
just
don't know
said.
why. I don't know. It may be vanilla, and I'm not saying you can't open the playbook to them. And who cares if they know what's coming? That's the point of playing football. Let them know. Lou Holtz say smack him in the effing mouth. You know, that's when I played in my Uncle Rico days. Um, I remember coaches saying the same thing. Like, we are going to be tougher today. You are going to get the yard. You're going to. And I know every team does that, and that's every coach does that. But we proved it, and just I don't know. Again, we lost by 3 points, but it wasn't. I don't know. That loss stings, man. And it's we've seen it even last year with that amazing team last year. They had an early season letdown, and we've seen one every year of Marcus Freeman's coach. And this, 0-2, man. I don't know. I don't know. There'll be a lot to improve on, and he always responds really well after they have a setback.
True.
So there's that positive, but this is a tall task, man. SEC team, big lights on ND, all the pressure's on ND. I mean, it really is.
I could not agree more. But what if they do win this game and then they do run the table? Then where are they at? Because obviously the loss to Miami wasn't a bad loss. It was
Oh no, it's
against
still not a bad loss.
a top 10
I'm
team
just saying
in
it
Miami.
stings because
Sure does.
they should have won that game. I bet you if they line up 10 times, 10 more times, 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10 times, Notre Dame's going to come out on top. At least
Should.
you would think so. I know
Should.
games aren't played on paper. I'm not using the paper equation either. I just think Notre Dame was a better team. But those Miami Lions, they underestimated them. And that's, I mean, are we, did we take the bait of our own, like we always do, like Brian Kelly always would do, is take the bait coming in on the preseason and then thinking, you're Superman and you're full of yourself because our DBs didn't look good. Carson Hobbs, even Leonard Moore got beat on that double, and that guy made an awesome catch. But
And Adon Schuler
Leonard
should have.
Moore got beat on a double move, and he never got beat last year.
So looking at, more about the injuries
Ash
going
bothers
on
me still too, man.
about being able to play with
Like
this.
attack, just how do you not? What was it with the soft ass approach?
I don't know. They got to get pressure. That's the main thing on the defensive line. Yeah, I'm still kind of I'm back and forth on my prediction today, but we'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
How are we looking on injuries? What do you know about that currently?
I know Jagasaw is still out, and just a couple guys that really are penciled in. So no major losses. Everybody's penciled in. I know Knapp had missed some towards the end of the game. I think he was. Yeah, he did because then Styles Prescott gave up those 2 sacks or whatever. But he's back because of cramping and stuff. There won't be that issue of the heat. But again, that's making an excuse for like Miami. Miami won the game. I'm not going to make an excuse of the heat and they were cramping. Miami played in the same heat.
Exactly. Obviously, they're used to it, but it's kind of like in the playoff last year when all the warm weather teams came up to the cold weather teams and got their asses kicked. So that's kind of how that works. Um, what what else you want to talk about on this show today? I mean, obviously, we talked a lot about the Miami game. That game's in the past. I don't want to talk about that anymore. Let's talk about what what's on your mind.
What's on my mind? I hope they can run the ball. I just want to see more of Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price. I
We
want to
need
see linebackers playing like how how intense and physical they were last year. I mean, they were playing, like they could run through walls and just tackle a
Mhm.
truck, and I just didn't see that from them. I hope this 2 weeks really, this 2 extra weeks. It's like they almost had another summer camp.
Yeah.
Um, I hope they got some stuff drilled in, and I wish they would have done some things. I love that cat, the coach. What is it, Fran Brown from Syracuse? Syracuse won the game, and he made them run sprints still after the
Oh
game.
yeah, I heard
Come on,
that.
man, let's go. Now that is awesome. That is awesome. I think that's some old school mentality type of shit.
So throwing back a little bit, I don't know if you heard this about the new transfer portal
Oh, they
potential.
want to go to just one window.
One window, which actually would start during the playoff and end like the day or two after.
I don't understand that.
So yeah, that makes no
So
sense.
a
So there
team in the playoff, a player is going to transfer
could actually join the portal during the playoff.
and play for the team in the playoff.
I don't. Well, let me read what I found
That
here.
would be absolutely absurd,
So
and I think they would lose me as a college football fan if they did
here's
something
what
like
I
that.
have here. The NCAA announced last week that the FBS Oversight Committee vowed to move the winter transfer portal window from December to January, shifting to a 10-day period that would start on January 2nd. The committee also supported eliminating the spring transfer window in April, meaning FBS players would have 10 days in January to enter their name in the NCAA portal if they wish to transfer to another school in the 2026 season. So you'd have January 2nd to January 12th. And the playoff, I think, is the 10th, or the championship game is like the 11th.
I don't like that because you know it's even though it's a month removed, like the spring, it's a new roster. Players leave, so like we would have had Angeli on the team. Do you know what I mean? He wouldn't have been able to transfer because he
Correct.
transferred after the spring game. So it goes both ways. Yeah, you might lose a guy that you like, but then you can gain somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't. I like the 2 windows. They're
Well,
just really messing up everything, man.
two windows to me.
Golly, I don't. How
Two,
much
two,
more do you need?
I don't know. And this is where it all comes down
It's
to.
just now the fans are the ones who are suffering. It
Yeah, because it only benefits really the player. It doesn't benefit even
well,
the
no, I'm all
school,
about benefiting the player, but why
which
you
is,
think it should just be a one window?
yeah, I think it should be one window. It shouldn't be after
Why
the
two benefits the players?
it does to a point. It also hurts all the teams when people leave after, spring practices.
Well, let them go then. You
So
know?
then do it after the spring practice and not do the January one.
Oh well, sure, okay.
That's
I
kind
don't see
it's
how it makes a
eliminate
I
one
don't
of
see
them.
how it makes a difference though. I don't honestly like.
And this is where it goes back
What's
to
the
what you,
arguing for just having one window?
well, really there is none, but this is where our conversation with Matt Shelton came 2 weeks ago was contracts and actually knowing what the hell's going on here. If you have a contract with somebody, then they're not going to leave for a year unless you trade them. So that's the next.
Isn't that what NIL is? I know it's just players getting paid, but they're not. If they transfer out, Notre Dame's not going to give Angeli NIL money if he transfers to Syracuse.
Yeah.
So that is a contract, no?
No, there is no actual contract.
I know because they're not a player, and you have to introduce. This is where you again. Now we're talking. They're leaning towards them being semi-pro athletes, and you need collective bargaining and agents and
which is exactly where
they'll need a union, all that shit. So by NCAA, I mean that's what it's going to come down to.
And I think I heard last week something, it might have been on the show that you cannot stand, which I listen to every day, Pat McAfee, where he was hearing so he heard something about a 64 or something team juggernaut
right.
League.
I've been saying that for years, man.
Correct, exactly. You have. And all those teams are going to basically be the ones in the hopper for
SEC, Big Ten, and then sprinkle in a couple others.
Exactly. ACC, all that. So yeah, it's just seeing that this morning, and that was because Ryan Day actually has an issue with it, as well as other Big Ten coaches about the transfer portal time there. So yeah, obviously this is gonna take time.
This is crazy. It's just they don't even have there's always a problem, right? College football, I've been watching it for a long time, and everybody. People cried at the traditional way of them being crowned. I cried that Notre Dame should have split just the same way that Michigan split in '98 with Nebraska. Notre Dame should have split with Florida State in '93. You can argue that all the live long day. They should have anyway. So then people were pissed. So they go to the BCS. Oh, it's great. 1 versus 2 will always have it. It'll be a definitive. And then that upsets people. And then you finally get your 4 team. That upsets people. Now we get 12 teams, and they do it for 1 year. And the Big Ten is already complaining, and they want 84 teams in the. It's madness. Let it play out for a little bit. I hate it, and it sucks because again, I've watched college football for a long, long time, longer than baseball. Well, maybe about the same. Anyway, and it's sad because. Okay, of course money took over. Obviously, it takes over everything else. But what's very frustrating is, this 12-team playoff is awesome. I love it. And they just couldn't even let it, let it take its course. Like, why? They don't need it to go any further. 16 games is a long time. A lot of games for these student athletes. And they need to keep it at 16 games. That's a lot of games. That's a lot of games. It's a lot of football games, man.
It is a lot of extra games, a lot of extra, wear and tear on bodies that are young.
Exactly. And then these kids, and then they won't even have a chance at a pro career because it'll get that much more intense because they'll, if they go to this, semi-pro NFL model, these kids they'll last 1 year in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll see kids, they won't even go to school anymore because then if you got rid of the NCAA and stuff, then that whole playing need 3 years of eligibility would go out the window, right? So you have Maurice Claret every year.
Yeah, you can't have
because then injuries and you can't fault these kids because the shelf life of players now is a lot shorter than it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So we're creating a whole nother thing now.
Yeah.
It's nuts. It's disheartening because it's a great game, but it's just it's tainted now, man, just for the almighty dollar. And I get it, make your money, but how much is enough, man?
Yeah, where can you, as they say, where can you limit it? Where can you stop it?
Because then fans just get to suffer and your head explodes, and then, it'll force Notre Dame to join a conference. If they want to stay in that 64 mega league, semi-pro NFL. Yeah, it's. I like it the way it is. I think it's really great. 12 teams, fine. I think the conferences that they have now, again, USC and UCLA and Oregon and Washington, the Big Ten. I still think it's silly. SMU and all that in the ACC. It's ridiculous, but it's here and fine. It's here. I'll even accept that. But if you go to like a bigger playoff field and stuff, again, you might lose me as a college football fan, and nobody gives a shit because who the hell am I? But it's just like bleh.
It's tough. It's tough to see it change as much. I don't mind change, but obviously there's a point where it's like,
oh, of course, I accept. I'm the most traditional person. I still want the mound to be however high it was back in the Bob Gibson days, and I want to get rid of the DH. That's how traditional I am. But I've accepted this college football change.
Are we going to move on to like other games this week and then our predictions?
Yeah, sure.
All right. What other games are you looking forward to this week? And I have one.
Obviously, what we got the game day game is the Tennessee Georgia.
Georgia at Tennessee. That number 15 Tennessee and number 6 Georgia. That's baby. SEC at its best.
You got people seem to forget how, Kirby Smart, how Kirby Smart's still coaching Georgia. So I think, everybody was so high on Texas, and I would have probably had it, if I was a AP preseason poll, I probably would have had I would have rewarded Georgia more than they were. I don't, I would have had Ohio State, Penn State, Georgia, something like that, or even Georgia, Penn State, because to me they were returning the most. Obviously Clemson was overrated, and but they have it's still a long season, and that's a good thing about losing early is you still have a long way to go. And they did win the game, but they looked pretty bad against who was it, Troy. What game do you like?
Well, that's the main one. My other one, Wisconsin at number 19, Alabama. So this is basically for Alabama, kind of like what we're looking at this weekend. If Alabama loses this game, they're done.
Yeah, I think they're done anyway. You talk about soft.
And DeBoer, it might be booed the hell out of that stadium. I could see that happening if Notre Dame loses to Texas A&M.
Oh, they'll want Kalen DeBoer fired then.
Like right there.
Right then and there.
Yeah, that's going to be a big one because Wisconsin's unranked currently going into Alabama. That'd
be awesome if Luke Fickell pulled that out and beat him. I would love nothing more than to see that.
And then one other big game I was looking at was number 18 South Florida at number 5 Miami. I still see Miami taking this, but as you said before we jumped on here, South Florida's beaten 2 ranked teams already.
Yeah, they're the only school in the country that has beat 2 ranked teams.
So look at that. And now they got
Florida, and everybody was high. A lot of people were high on this year, Florida, to make a move in the SEC and stuff. Billy Napier, but man, you can tell when a coach is like, if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a duck, right? You can tell these coaches aren't like, I don't know how they get this level of, what did Billy Napier do? Like, what did he do? He won somewhere at a smaller school. I mean, that's what everybody does, but it still doesn't always work out. It's weird. I don't know. I don't. Who's another one that they want to? I forget. Anyway, I can go on and on.
So looking at South Florida, they already have 3 games. Their first 3 games are against ranked opponents, which is crazy.
I hope they win. I mean, I do. South Florida did it to us. You were at that game.
Which one? The South Florida
game?
Yeah, it was. Where they beat. That was Lou Holtz's
We were supposed to win. We were ranked, I believe.
That was Lou Holtz's kid.
It was Kelly's second year, right?
Yeah. Who is Lou Holtz's kid at the time?
Oh,
Skip Holtz.
Yeah.
That was also the game where there were 2 rain delays in about 5 hours.
That was the Dane Christ fumble return
in the end zone.
99-yard return.
And Elijah almost got into the fight with the people behind us.
Oh, Elijah was with you at that game? Awesome.
That was Elijah.
That's
He
awesome.
almost got into a fight with people sitting behind us.
Speaking of, God, I hope they win because that would be a bummer going into Purdue 0-2. Are you going to Purdue?
Yes. So you
Oh,
and
so we are going. Okay,
you're going to Purdue.
smart choice, man.
I was also offered tickets to this Saturday
Oh
from
yeah.
Lisa Kelly, but the price is a little bit out of my
Oh,
range.
you gotta pay. I figured. I figured if she had tickets, like, hey, you want to come?
No, she bought them and she was willing to sell them to me, but with what I'm like, I can't do it. I've been out of
It
town
was
too
nice,
much.
huh?
I'm
Hefty.
still thinking about it, but it's like I can't. Yeah, that'll be
Tempting,
awesome.
right?
All right, are we ready?
What predictions?
Yeah,
All right.
think so. You want to go first? You want me to go first? All
You
right,
want me to go first?
let me start with this though. So
Okay.
Saturday's game, obviously, it's a 6:30 or Central Time game, 7:30 East.
Sweet.
Spread Notre Dame is a 6.5 point favorite. Total over under 49.5 points.
Oh, I'll take. I think. I don't know though, man. The defenses might be pretty tough. God, I don't. I don't know how to pick this game, man.
So I'll go first,
Okay.
and then I'll let you kind of feel it out. Obviously, you kind of have an idea where you're going. We need this team, and we've said this, to play all facets of the game and actually show some moxie during it. We have to
Moxie.
show some
You and that
physicality.
word, man.
I'm
We have to
using them all.
eliminate. That should be like the swear jar. Like for my f bomb, you and Moxie need to go. You need to put $5 in there.
I'm purposely doing these words just to piss you off.
Oh, okay.
The
Well, it's working.
physicality of the defense has to come back. We have to have
And we
our
have
head
to have a walk-off field goal.
that we have to have our head on a swivel during passes. No, we just gotta, like you said before, the running game will set up the passing game. Let's do that. Let this team do that. Let Denbrock call these plays. The offensive line just needs to, punch people in the mouth. Just push it down the field. Once that starts happening, then you can open up the offense for CJ Carr, and hopefully he can find some other receivers other than fumble hands Eli Raridan. See
You
what we
gotta
can.
go back to. How do you not target Great House?
Yeah, even Faison. Faison made some great catches, in the
Wow, he is awesome when he gets in the open. He reminds me
dude.
a little of Golden Tate, where you like.
He has physicality like nobody. You can say fuck you. It's okay. I said it for you. All right.
Oh no, I'm going f bomb free this show, man.
So for this game, and I actually just put my prediction score together right before we jumped on. I have Notre Dame winning 31-28. So I actually have the over.
Whoa,
Close
field
game,
goal, huh?
31-28. Yeah. On a
So,
walk-off field goal.
that one is really the worst too.
No, actually, I don't have it.
The fact that they use that term in other sports, it's awful in baseball as it is because it's position specific, and two, cats are jumping on the field. Nobody's walking off anywhere. So anyway, when they use it in another sport,
They don't have walk-off three-point shot, do
it
they?
blows my mind.
Yeah, I don't think they
I
use.
don't understand how these professional people on TV who claim to be journalists and anchormen can sit there and use that term and not feel like a complete and utter dotard.
Oh, throwing in a little quick stat for this game too. Texas A&M has lost 7 of its last 10 road games. Notre Dame has covered the spread in 4 of its last 5 matchups as a favorite.
Up until this very minute, because I realized what I said with Matt Shelton, and I initially, in what I wanted to pick for my loss was Miami, but I had confidence that Notre Dame was going to be able to beat them, but Miami was really good. So I'll stick with it and go with Marcus Freeman won't have a letdown. Up until right this very second, I was picking A&M because again, I don't have a lot of confidence in the line or Ash. but hopefully they'll get it corrected and coach. Here's a good coach speak for you. Coach them up. They'll coach them up. Coaching them up. And so yeah, Notre Dame will win. They'll have them ready. 28-17. I still think the defense is a little rusty.
Okay. So 28-17, Dennis. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's get this.
Honestly, I was really going up until you read me some of those stats, and then I just went back to thinking of my original thought in our preseason show with Matt. I'm gonna stick with what I felt, and because I also said they can't lose, they can't be 0-2, they can't. And if they were gonna lose a game, they were probably gonna split one of the two. It's just which one were they gonna lose. So if they lost Miami, let's win A&M.
So in that NBCSports.com thing you sent me, I'm looking at the Notre Dame's offensive rank is 22nd, defensive rank is 21st.
Well, it's one game.
It is, but yeah.
So, but that's where stats and like in context or whatever are taken. It's not taken out of context because it's like that one stat, even though it doesn't show up, they only got 3 sacks, but it's how the play is affected. Again, Anthony Knapp and that left side were on roller skates. That Reuben Bain pushed them around like a sled. He just pushed them around.
Yeah.
Every time it was
like one of those workout sets.
I mean, he brought. Oh, here's a good one. He brought his lunch pail.
He had his hard hat and his lunch pail.
Right.
Full birthday of work. There you go.
Work. But he did. He really did. And that's what is concerning for me. Yeah. I'm not a coach. That's why we do this silly show.
Exactly.
And yeah.
There you go. So Dennis and I have our predictions in. I have 31-28. Dennis has it 28-17. We both have the first victory of the year. And then whatever week it is, the Purdue game, Dennis and I will be at the game for his first experience doing the tailgating with Holtz.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for that. And that's why I hope they win too, because I don't want to be a sourpuss when I am in person with these guys and being and ragging on Notre Dame how I would, because they can't be 0-2.
They cannot go into next week 0-2. So let's take this as a win, hopefully, and see how things play out. Maybe you and I can do something right after the game on Saturday night.
That'd be fun. We should.
It's going to be a late one. So.
What, Purdue?
No, this Saturday.
Oh, this Saturday.
Yeah, maybe we should do something like right after the game. Oh, we'll do some pregame. Are you kidding me? We'll see if we can get like Matt on or something. Just do like a quick little video and see what we can do.
At the Purdue game?
Yeah, like at the
that'd be sick.
Yeah, we can get Lee or Reggie or any of those dudes.
I'm a fangirl a little bit. I know I've met them already in the podcast form, but
that's okay. You haven't been able to shake their hand.
That 93 team is everything. So like to meet Lee Beckton and stuff in person.
That's going to be awesome. I'm excited for you just for that because
and Reggie Brooks. I mean, it's
hey, you know who else is
childhood heroes, man. It's pretty cool.
You know who else is going to be there? Zorich is going to be there. Who knows if he's going to be at the tailgate?
I was watching some of that because they were playing the '88 game, the Miami game. So I was watching some of that.
Speaking of Zorich,
he was unbelievable. Like they were scared of Zorich that game.
So speaking of Zorich, Heather actually said a thing that she saw. Marcus Freeman was asked a question. Any previous Notre Dame player that you would have on this team right now, who would it be? And he picked Zorich.
I know we kind of ended our show a little bit and stuff. But we didn't touch up on the defense because we were hopping on offense a lot. But I'm not. And going back to the depth chart, Devin Heinisch does not need to. That dude's listed at 277. Man, he was getting blown off the ball. I gotta watch. I don't understand the it's like in high school they'll have in high school when they're undersized and stuff they'll slant the nose tackle, right, so he can like shimmy in quickly, and it's like but we're not, Georgetown Ridge Farm High School in Central Illinois that I played. Like, we're Notre Dame. It's like, give me some beef, dude. Let's go, Ash.
Right.
Ash better not be my the Parker.
Parker. I was trying to remember what his name was.
He better not be the Parker. But
I kept thinking Palmer. I'm like, what's in Palmer?
Parker House roll.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get this game going.
All right, man.
You and I will be back next week for another episode. Thank everybody for watching this stupid little show. You can follow us all over the socials. We are ND Nation. And as you see, I changed the location of everything to the top now.
Yeah, it looks nice.
So it looks much better. We are ndnation.com. We are
very good. The whole
on Instagram and the book. And Dennis disappeared. So until next time, go Irish.
Thank you.